This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome, cinephiles and cinebites, to another Cinebite, number 38. I'm your host, Annika P. On this Schrody's Ladder, the boys Mox and Ono have a chat with writers, producers, and directors Elizabeta Vidovich and Kathryn Michelle of Almost Normal Productions. Elizabeta and Kathryn currently have an Indiegogo campaign for their upcoming full-length feature, Severed Silence. It's currently at 71% of their projected goal with 22 days left in the campaign. It is a horror film. Horror! You best check this out and their various incentives for supporting this campaign. Elizabeta and Kathryn talk about their film on the show, the story and its background, the cast and crew involved. They also talk on many facets on the world of filmmaking, the challenges they face in the industry, and their independent approach to it all. You'd best take notes, cause knowledge be dropping on this episode. Schrody's Ladder.
All right, welcome to a new Cinebite. We have two special guests on the show. Currently, they have a campaign going on Indiegogo.
Yep,
for
that's right.
A short horror film. Go ahead and please introduce yourself.
Actually,
No, it's a feature.
It's a
Feature.
film.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
based on their short, though. It looks like some of the similar aesthetics, and I think the main character's name is the same, right?
Yeah, what we were doing with that is we were experimenting with certain looks and feels and shots, and then just that was kind of a test run for some things that we were going to be doing.
Yeah, very experimental.
Yeah,
Oh.
for the feature, but it's loosely based on the feature.
I liked it. It was really creepy, and the music was haunting.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun with it. Oh my gosh. Freezing cold, Glendale, Missouri, sirens, and it was just the night of noise. I mean, we shot it in a weekend, but all weekend it was sirens and helicopters, and I don't know what was happening in Glendale.
Just about everything. Coyotes. We don't get coyotes. We got coyotes that night.
Oh,
It's
wow.
crazy.
Or something sounded like coyotes.
Well, none of that showed up in the audio mix. So was it a lot of ADR, or you just happened to not
No, it
pick
was
up?
a lot of cut. Pause. Okay, let's go. Cut. All right, let's go. Hurry, guys. That's what
Cut,
it was.
coyotes! Damn it!
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so no, Severed Silence, this is what we're raising money for right now. Funding for is a feature film that we're planning on shooting in summer of 2018.
Oh, wow.
And the funding that we're raising on Indiegogo right now is just the startup funds that we're hoping to get and then take to our investors with our package to secure the rest of the funds.
Yeah, we have a really good package with this film. You saw our actors. We have Isabella Vidovich, and, we have Mayada Walsh, and
She's on
Adam.
the Fosters, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Isabella.
she's got a movie coming out this Thursday. No, wait, this Friday, the 17th, called Wonder.
Oh,
Roberts and Jacob Tremblay and Owen Wilson. It's a great.
yeah. That one looks
Find
like
it.
it's like a kind of a heartwarming one.
It is.
I felt like I was gonna cry during the trailer. I like those kind of movies, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's going to be a really good film, and it comes out this weekend. Then tomorrow night, she's the new young Supergirl, so she's got a lot going on.
Wow.
So there's a lot of buzz around Isabella right now, and it's really nice. It's helping with our campaign.
Yeah, if you guys get to check it out, so on Supergirl, she is a teenage Supergirl, so she gets to do all the Supergirl stuff, which I'm so excited.
That is super cool.
You know,
They should have put her in it, man.
She gets to fly and she gets to run and
No, we love her. We
shoot
love her.
beams at her.
Yeah, she's also a part of the producing team for Severed Silence as well. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed she was like in all of the shorts and the feature too in Find Me.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in Find Me. She was little.
Right on.
It's great. It's great fun. But yeah, this film, it's a horror film, and it revolves around a Romani family that has a curse put on them, and they have to figure out how to keep from their entire family being exterminated, basically.
Yeah.
So it's really great. It's circa 1972, so it has that like Conjuring 2 feel, and we're really excited about it.
Is it gonna have the same kind of cyclical feel as the May I Die, or it's totally different?
No, it's actually a lot more linear in the way that the story is told in the feature than it is in the short. With the short film, it's just you get 10 minutes to tell the story, and you better make it really impactful in those 10 minutes. With a feature, of course, it's a lot more liberty. So,
Yeah, this is, it starts off with what happens with the betrayal when Talitha is younger, and then it flash forwards to 20 years later after her and her sister have spent 20 years trying to keep the curse at bay. So it kicks off at a really cool Romani wedding in the 70s, and everybody's there for the first time in 20 years, and somebody releases the curse. And so that's what kicks off the movie.
Everybody goes off running for their lives.
Nice.
Wow.
That
Does sound like a good one, yeah.
A good
lead. It's a really creepy. It has a lot of like that dark Omen feel, but with the Romani twist. So a lot of that, like Gypsy influences, and
yeah. I mean,
a lot of music.
I like the Gypsy folklore feel, Gypsy music. Yeah, Romani music and folklore and mysticism and everything that's surrounded. We were also excited to shine some light on the culture, too. Yeah.
Is there going to be any music themed, like Gypsy music in there?
Well, in the short, yeah. And I think I saw on the page you guys have like a band that's going to score.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Mostly Kosher. They have their sound is very much a la the old world Romani feel too. And so they were really excited when we approached them with this. They're like, how much liberty do we have? And we're like, as long as you keep it authentic and you keep it really real within the context of the period of time and all that, we're like, go for it. So they're so excited. Their music is incredible. You got to check them out. You'll understand when you hear their stuff, you're going to go, yeah. It's much like Kosher. We saw with the short film. What'd you say?
No, I was committing their name to memory. Almost Kosher.
Mostly Kosher, yeah.
Yeah, we ran into them at the Glendale Film Festival last year when we screened we actually screened May I Die and Find Me, and they were one of the attractions, right?
Yeah, but they also were debuting their new music video there. Yeah, and so they were playing, and we were standing there getting ready to be interviewed on the in front of the step and repeat, and Betta looks over at them and she's looking at them, and I'm just kind of like, they're being so loud, nobody's gonna be able to hear our interview. And she's like, wait, look at these guys, like they're gonna be perfect for the movie though. And I was like, oh. And all of a sudden we forgot about our interview, and we were like listening to them, and then they called us up there, and we were like, oh yeah, hold on. So it was really great.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we really enjoyed crowdfunding. It's brought us closer to our audience. We've gained audience through crowdfunding. I mean, this is really great. Betta was talking about our package that we have for our feature film that we're, Severed Silence. And we have, cast and crew that are attached. I mean, Alan Hooper is a casting director for one of the casting directors on Modern Family, and he's attached to this. We've known Alan Hooper for years. Yeah, so we're really excited. We just have a really solid group of people behind us. And so we have that. We have the script Severed Silence that we wrote as well. So we own 100% of the rights to. And then we have, the music already, there. And we were like, okay, we can present this to investors now, which would be, we have a solid, strong package. We have a business plan and projections that we got through, some really great reputable companies here in town. But we're like, what would be more enticing for people to see? We walk in with this amazing package, or we walk in with this amazing package and startup funds and a whole new audience that, you can look and see, oh, you have X amount of backers. That's already a built-in audience. These people are paying to get your film done, and then they're going to pay to see it too. So we were like, you know what, let's do this. And it's given us the opportunity to get to know our fans a lot better too. You know?
Yeah, and our response has been amazing so far. And people have been so supportive and are just genuinely interested in seeing this done.
Yeah.
So
it's 67%.
Yeah.
Through.
I know, right?
And you still got like a whole month left. Like that's
I know we're just at the halfway mark and we're at 67%. We were like, we're feeling pretty good. We're feeling pretty confident.
Well, you guys are offering some awesome perks too.
What's that?
You guys are offering awesome perks too on the campaign.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, we worked really hard on those. It's like we kind of stepped outside of ourselves and try to look in onto the campaign and say, okay, what would we want to see?
Yeah.
What would we want to, what would be interesting to us?
Something
and
different.
Then just started from there. So, and Kathryn is an amazing graphic designer. So everything that you see on the website is literally her.
Nice.
The poster to all the graphics is, because she's
I'm handy.
nice.
So just lucky that we have this in-house artist that's willing to do this. So
right,
it's helped a lot. Everything looks good.
Thank you.
Is this your first
crowdfunding
campaign?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it's our first in this capacity. Like I've raised funds for theater back in Chicago when I was when I was producing theater in Chicago. And when I moved to Los Angeles, Kathryn, this is how we started working. She approached me with an idea to do a short together, our very first short called Crashing. And we needed to raise some funds for that. And we did.
It was more like of a grassroots type of campaign. We're like, we're going to, we had a local artist that opened his home. And we did a whole night of music. We had bands donate their time. And we had a lot of alcohol and a lot of
it's a party.
And how you get people to
everybody, we were like spreading the word to everybody. We did it old school. We walked around and we gave cards and we talked to people and we had flyers and we did it like the old 80s band style, walking down Hollywood Boulevard going, come to our fundraiser. And people did. It was huge and we had fun, and that's kind of how we started doing this. And
it was pretty successful. And then we did a second fundraiser when we were both pregnant, actually. Believe it or not.
Baby.
You kept working. Oh wow.
Now with the babies. The babies coming. That was a pretty successful one. So we have a history of raising money for our films, but this is probably more on I guess this is on the larger scale.
Yeah, this is on
all of our
site, a crowdfunding site specifically.
All of our films so far have been self-funded, though, except like a couple of films that we raised. And what we raised in the bar when we were pregnant was for a trailer that we were shooting at that time for
another feature that we were raising money for.
Yeah, so being filmmakers, that's just what you perfect doing, is raising money for your films. It's just what you have to learn how to do so many different ways. And I just feel like in order to really truly call yourself an indie filmmaker, you have to get on either Kickstarter or Indiegogo at least once in your life.
Right.
Get in the
put yourself out there.
Get in there. Exactly.
So what made you choose Indiegogo over Kickstarter?
Oh, it's the flexible funding. Kickstarter does not offer
all or
that.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're great. Both of them have a lot to offer, and we did our research on both. And I think the flexible funding and the other thing that swayed us over was John Trigonis. Betta came across his book. He now works for Indiegogo, but his book was all about crowdfunding. And she was like, you got to read this. And we both did. And he now works for Indiegogo, and he influenced us in a great way.
It's a very resourceful, very helpful site. They offer I'm sure Kickstarter does as well. We did more research on Indiegogo, but it was kind of a no-brainer with what they offer and how helpful they were and what we were looking for. And John was so helpful, not only with the book that he wrote, but outside of that too, with like just shooting emails back and forth with him, asking questions. He's just amazing. I mean, with his help, we were able to achieve a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a trend sometimes. Like, if it failed on Kickstarter, they'll either do it again later, or they'll do the Indiegogo afterwards.
Yeah, I tell you, as a first-time crowdfunder, like on the campaign sites like this, I think we both felt way more comfortable going with Indiegogo because we weren't trying to initially go in and jump in and raise the whole amount. So this was beginning fund. So we're like, whatever we get, we know we're going to use. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So when you say first round of funding, this is the money that you raise here is to help you raise more money, or does it actually go into the production itself?
It's going to go straight into the production, but it's going to be an enticement to investors. So we've already covered all the development costs and a big chunk of the pre-production stuff. So what this is just all going to go straight into the production. We're going to be looking at this as an opportunity to present something to investors, saying, look, we're already bringing this onto the table. So, it shows that you have, what's the word I'm looking for?
Equity?
Well, yeah, but there was something else, but
you know what? And also wanted to clarify, because it says first round of crowdfunding. We didn't want people to go, oh, $25,000. That's what you're going to shoot it for.
Oh, right. I sometimes read comments like, that's it.
I know.
So I mean, we still get asked that question. Believe
oh my
it or
gosh,
not,
I have. Somebody did when we first launched. Somebody did come up to me and said, "So I don't get it. You're gonna do a movie for $25,000?" And I'm like, "Did you? Why are you talking to me? Go away."
right. Hey, haters, come on, please.
I know.
Hey, listen, it's possible, but Severed Silence is not one of those. I mean, I love like just getting just gritty and dirty and doing it like old school indie style. We've done. I think it's awesome. So not opposed to it, but Severed Silence is not that project. It can be. You can alter anything. I really believe that, but we just don't want to do it that way. We want to. Yeah, this is one of those that we want to do it our way, the right way.
Yeah. I mean, it just offers more resources. The more, if you can get your budget and do it right, you'll have all the resources you need to get to achieve what you want to achieve with the film, and that's where we're going to go with it. So, yeah.
Now, where did the idea for Severed Silence come from?
Oh my gosh. This was back about 5 years, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
It's we write together, we're gonna be, and we produce together, and we're gonna be directing together.
We've already directed twice together, produced, wrote.
We write everything together.
We've done everything on set together, just about, from like art department to costumes to. So, where did it come from? Honestly, it was kind of an old idea that morphed into the Romani culture aspect just recently. And this is what we do. We'll come up with something, like one of us will go, what about that? And then it's like a week later, that sentence still lingers, that we'll go, okay, we have a synopsis. Then we'll write a synopsis, and then 2 months later there's a treatment, and it's like, okay, we have something here. So if you ask us to go as far back as that sentence, I don't know if we can tell you intelligently really where that started, but it did end up in the drawer at some point. Like, we wrote a script, we looked at it, we were okay about it, and then we said, you know what, it needs to be shelved for a while. And then this idea about Romani culture and aspect of Romani aspect came into play, and we decided to incorporate it, and suddenly we got it out of the drawer and said, oh my gosh, this is it.
That kind of breathed new life into the existing story.
Totally breathed new life into it. And I think that's not just with this. It's kind of happened with every story. It's almost like looking for your muse in a way, looking for an inspiration for the story to just become truly your own.
Yeah, I mean, you know how kind of how we look at it is like, you get that coloring book and you got the outline there, but it doesn't really come to life until you start really coloring in the areas, and that's what with when we brought the Romani aspect in, and we brought the era in, all of a sudden it just really was like, okay, and then that breeds other ideas, and and it kind of snowballs into all these different things. So yeah.
Yeah, we also really enjoy writing strong characters for women. That's being female directors and writers and producers. I think all of our scripts do have that inevitably without even trying. I think it just so kind of happens that we do. And Severed Silence is no different. The central character is a woman, and she carries the story, and from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, I mean that's how we began.
Yeah,
our team was we started off actually as actors, and we were trying to write something that had more depth than what we were given for auditions, and we wanted to do that from the very beginning, write things that we would want to be in, and then we found out we really liked this other side of camera, and that's kind of so fast forward, we're doing Severed Silence, another strong female-driven piece, and we're really happy about that. Yeah. And all our characters, there's no
dull character. I mean, they're all colorful and wonderful and great, and there's strong female and male characters, and so yeah.
I'm glad that that's the case. I really don't like horror films where they're empty characters just getting murdered, because then I feel like, okay, you're just wasting my time. Put in danger the people I care about. I don't care about this guy.
That's one thing that no matter what we write, we always want you to love and hate all of our characters, antagonists or the protagonist. We kind of mess with you a lot of times. We want you to, because that's how it is in with real people. You don't have that person that you're just like, oh, they're perfect and everything that they do is right and this and that. No, they're flawed. All our characters are flawed. Even the characters that are the antagonists, there's something redeeming in them. They're still a human being. So no matter what happens in the story, you feel something for all of our characters. Even if you hate them, you're going to feel something for them. So in this piece, I mean, our character, this whole piece is driven from her mistake, from something that she did wrong, and she's our protagonist. And so this whole story starts from something that she did wrong.
Yeah, and then we're asking you to understand her choices throughout the story. And I feel that a perfect horror is a marriage between the two. Is a marriage between your classical slasher and the character-driven story. I think that a filmmaker is capable of doing that. As much as, of course, to me, the scariest is not knowing what's behind the closed doors, or what's in the corner, or what's in the dark. I mean, there is something about when someone makes me jump, and truly makes me jump. Like, oh, I just really got scared.
There are no cats. Don't think that there are no cats jumping
There's
out
none
of
of
cupboards
that.
or anything.
No.
None of that.
Are you talking about like the fake jump scares? Like, boom, it's a cat. Ugh, I hate that.
Oh, that makes me so mad. I'm so sick of that darn cat, or the person behind the refrigerator door when it closes.
Yep.
I promise you there's none of that.
Stop doing that for a while.
Okay.
I think that in a while. Yeah. I think they caught up, like all the filmmakers are like, no, I can't do that. Or you wipe the mirror and there's, someone
someone's behind them. It's like, dang.
No, none of that.
Or they walk into the room and someone's behind the door.
Once in a while, that can work.
If anybody's killed off, we want you to care that they're killed off. So yeah.
Okay. I feel like the characters that you hate the most, like really hate them, like the actor did their job, and the writer too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
nice.
Sure.
But I feel sorry for the actor too, who's got to deal with it. Afterwards.
I like though with despicable characters when they're given, or you see their one redeeming quality, and you've been wanting them to die the whole movie, and now that they're doing something brave, you're like, oh fuck, he's going.
Now they're going.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna get it. I know.
Okay.
Yep.
Right on.
So I know you guys are, really into horror. What made you start with Find Me, which is more, I would say, kind of like a psychological, maybe suspense mystery?
Well, that's actually funny. It
Can
did.
I answer this
Yeah,
really quick?
answer
Because I'm
it.
dying.
Okay, answer it.
Well, first I want to say that yes, we are into horror, but it's not really only what we're into.
Right.
So we take pride in the fact that we love great film
Hmm.
and we like to write great stories, whatever they are. Just saying all that to say that we have 2 horror films and 2 comedies, believe it or not.
Wow.
And one of the things that is on our on the horizon is a television series that's something along the lines of Game of Thrones, and also a film that's a period piece. So our interests are very wide. It's like we like to just explore things that speak to our heart
Hmm.
rather than just say, oh, we're just married to this genre. Now,
Right.
going back,
Oh, with that said,
we are true blue horror
Horror
fans. So we're dying to make couple
No,
horror movies,
so
and
wait,
people
wait.
will go, "Oh my gosh, these are like classics,
Wait.
and these ladies did great."
circle back to actually Find Me did start off as a horror film.
It really did.
It did.
Started off.
But we turned it into more of a dramatic thriller kind of.
It just a very I'm very ambitious project between many friends, and again something that was shelved, and I just happen to really hate shelving things and not looking at them because I feel like there's a reason why you picked it up in the first place,
Right.
and it just needs a makeover, and that's what Find Me did. And I feel like Find Me will always be our favorite film of all times, no matter what we do, because it's our first, and it was truly a labor of love in every way.
We
So
stuck everybody up in a cabin, it's like more like a home, but in Big Bear, California, and it's kind of like a rustic area up in the mountains, up northeast of us.
Yeah.
I guess it is. And we stuck everybody up there, cast and crew, shot, ate, breathed, showered, and slept up there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. Wow.
Shooting 5D. So yeah, you either learn to love it or hate it, and we learned to love it. Though we did.
Yeah.
Some of our best friends came out of that film.
everyone really got along. It was just
Yeah.
the shocker that like 20 plus people, they all got along. At least we thought maybe they just didn't say anything to us.
So it
There you
was
go.
basically all that one location then, that house on the lake?
Yeah, I mean that was like 90% of that the
Yes,
movie, and then we
so-
shot, of course, around Glendale. We always bring Glendale into our projects as much as
One
we
way or
possibly
the
Represent-
other.
Yeah.
We
I
love
feel-
this town. We love the people, and they're very supportive. So
Nice. Is there a kind of let's say film community there? Is it pretty big in Glendale?
there's a nice film community, but I think more than that, it's just the community in general. We've been really fortunate to have a good eclectic group around us that support us. So anywhere from the restaurants here to the studios and things like that, the smaller studios. The Historic Society here helped us out. I mean,
Oh, nice.
just
Wow.
yeah. And we've screened at Glendale International Film Festival for 2 years in a row and won an award last year. And, it's
nice.
a film award. So, yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
just
been-
feel really supported by our community.
It's been really kind of one of those things that we live in Glendale, and movies in Glendale. We screen our movies in Glendale.
Well, for whoever's listening, the film is on Prime right now, right?
Yup, it is on Prime. So no
Yay!
excuses.
It is
Check
on
it out.
Yo, check that
Yeah,
out.
it's a great little indie.
Yeah.
It is actually. It's kind of interesting too. The tone is really heavy and almost sinister, but then you're looking at it and it's looking like a little bit like The Big Chill, but a little bit
Yeah.
of an undercurrent of evil, And then as they start to peel away the story of what actually happened, it starts to get
It's
a little
interesting you say
grimmer.
that because so many people said, so many people that saw it that didn't know much about it or didn't know the ending, did say that they didn't expect the turn.
Hmm.
Now, expect that it was going to just sort of like in third act, really just take that crazy turn where they all just
It
turn
kind of
against.
explodes, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
it was
there's
such
a couple of I guess pivots further, like, one layer of more discovery, and they're like, oh shit. And then there's another one, and then you're left with like the last revelation, and then it's like cut to black and cast like fuck.
Yes.
We like to mess with people.
Oh wow.
No, it was that script. We had a writer that she just we had the concept, and then she nailed it coming out of the box, and then we got our hands on it, and it's always a collaborative effort when you're doing independent filmmaking, and it's one of the joys of it,
Mhm.
and when we're doing like the final touches on it, and it was just those like last final things came about that you're talking about, those surprises and things when we went on that last pass. It was like really, it was like we knew where it was heading, but how to reveal it was just kind of like, how would that happen? It would be like this major avalanche, like everybody's just starts turning on each other, and that's what made it so heartbreaking. These friends came together. You had hope that it was going to be this great happy reunion, and then it just, so. But yeah, that was like towards the end. That's when we were really realized how it had to be, and we kind of adjusted it to be that implosion.
And cut it. I mean, it was much longer too. It was like hour and 40 minutes, and
yeah, it was really long.
Well, really long for a drama. Yeah.
How do you guys decide what to cut? Because I know, sometimes you have to cut something you love for pacing, or, maybe to focus the story more. How do you guys decide what to cut?
Honestly, the way it works for us is that when you watch it, whatever makes you, whatever tugs at you, you look at it again. And if it tugs again, chances are it has to go.
Yeah, it's the same with our writing.
It's the same with the writing. I think that, this is on something that both of us pride ourselves in, is that we edit well. We like our scripts really skinny, and we like our films pretty skinny too, because
No extraneous bits.
yeah, just to get rid of anything that, anything repetitious, anything that's not moving the story along.
It's not always easy, especially like you said, when you have something that you really, really love, like a scene that you really, really love, or a performance that's like amazing that brings you to, it's super important though, that we step outside. I mean, we work with really great editors, and we're really lucky with that. And we working together, like in writing, people always ask, how do you guys make it work with co-directing and this and that? And we're like, well, we keep each other in check. So I'll really like something, and then it's like she'll go, oh, but or vice versa, and then we have to trust the other, So it's kind of, we're our own kind of checks and balances along the way with writing all the way through. Same with directing. I mean, the hardest thing with directing is, making co-directing is having the same vision. Well, we've already kind of worked out most of this through writing this together, So when we get on set, sometimes we'll have to, check in with each other, or, but most of the time it's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, we'll check in just with looks and be like, yeah, because one of us will be on set with the actors while the other one's behind camera, or we'll flip flop, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that, as far as your process when you're on set, like, is one of you mostly wanting to, be with the camera and work with the cinematographer, while the other is more heavy into the performance, but you guys do it both ways, like you.
We do go back and forth. We flip-flop.
Yeah, it's really back and forth. It's not set, like, it's not something that's premeditated to where we're like, oh, today we're gonna do this. It's more like once we get there, it's just like, hey, do you want to go check that out? And I'll be by the monitor, and then we'll switch.
It's just it's very organic. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people doubt it until they get on set with us, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. It's just kind of like two hands,
I mean, it's not all that uncommon. It happens. Like
Mhm.
there's quite a few directors, people that
For
in
sure.
pairs in directing. So It's not. I mean, what I like about it is that when you're writing alone, I feel like you're really writing or doing something. At least I like to bounce things off of someone. I like to kind of get somebody's opinion,
Right.
how they feel about things. And, doing this together, it's there. It's like, it's just a given. We're working together. We're always checking in with each other. So it just eliminates looking for that extra person to go, can you please read my script? Can you check it out? Can you make sure everything's
That's
cool?
good.
Like, we have each other for that. So it's nice.
Nice.
That's
nice.
kind of like a built-in reader and also the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, storyboards important or
Yes.
no?
Oh, there's
Yes.
no way around it.
There
No,
we
not
go. I hate it when people are just like storyboards. That's irrelevant. I have it all in my head.
Oh no, we do. We're
No.
so type A when it comes to preparation. I'm not kidding. We have our shot list down to a T. We have, we've sat down with the DP and gone over everything. We have storyboards. It's obnoxious what we carry around. Like we have
Okay.
our own case we carry around. It's kind of silly, but
It
it's
actually kind of shows in Find Me for like the little production that could. I mean, it's well orchestrated, and I could, it kind of comes through that behind the scenes, you guys were on it.
Yeah, we had a really good team on Find Me. I mean,
Yeah.
a really good team. Our crew was phenomenal, and our actor. I mean, it just really worked well. I mean, it's hard because you want to, it'd be great to be able to take the credit, but honestly, indie filmmaking preparation and collaboration and
Takes an army.
yeah, it really does. I mean, we use that phrase a lot. It takes an army because it does. I wish we could say we
Definitely
do it alone,
does.
but we
I
always
mean,
have a
there's
good
no
team.
way. I don't know if you know the story about Keanu Reeves giving like $75 million to the crew
I've
of
I've heard it.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That's real. He did. He said it. He said that they're the ones that deserve the real pay. And I mean, it's incredibly selfless. And
Which
I
movie was that for?
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah.
First.
What
I mean,
rescued him
I'm pretty
from?
sure it's for real because the story's been floating around forever, and Keanu's never denied it.
Yeah. There's stories about like he's like the coolest dude.
I believe it.
So
Nothing but
giving.
yeah. But yeah, so
I don't know,
Yep.
but John Wick made me
definitely
cry.
preparation, storyboards all the way.
Oh yeah. Okay, so on like the bottom level, which we're at, no budget filmmaking, if you can, if you have money to pay for 5 positions, what would it be? Where would you spend the money if you don't happen to know people who
Sound.
have the skill set?
Sound.
Sound.
So, okay, wait. I feel like I should write this down.
He's got a sound. We got it recorded.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I'll take notes
Can't
later.
tell you how
Okay,
much
sound, and then you both kind of emphatically, number 1 was sound. Okay.
sound.
Definitely. Your DP is your.
Your lifeline.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
He's like, that's why they call him director of photography. I mean, he's part of the directing team. I mean, it's just crucial to have somebody that you really have to share the vision with for the film behind camera. It's crucial.
First AD, don't you think?
First AD keeps everybody together, keeps everybody in line, and
Well,
makes your day.
I figure you give that to the script supervisor. Keep everyone in
Yeah.
check.
Oh, if you could get it, for sure.
And
For
crafts. You can go get the food, please. So.
Really
and
great
that's-
food on that movie. Not so great movie. So, what's the, I guess, difference between the first AD and the production manager? Or, does one handle more so the crew that's filming and the other one handle the logistics of everything else? Or
You just said it, yes.
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
so if I had
like
to choose, sorry, go ahead.
No. A PM, a line producer, UPM, they're all on an indie film like this. They're kind of that same person in a lot of ways. When you're talking bare bones, you have like that one person that kind of covers a lot of those positions. And
Yep, that's what money buys you is extra hands, which really does help.
it makes sense.
I mean, it really, really does. Like when we started doing this, we're like, you don't need it. You really don't need it. Oh, we don't need it.
That's a novice
But
talking.
then you get
Arrogant.
you get in there and you started doing it, and it's like,
I wish we had this.
This sucks.
Right on.
So yeah, more hands the better. for sure. But I mean, we know what it means to make an indie. It means no money. So yeah,
So
a few crucial positions can. I mean,
Lighting too.
honestly, Robert Rodriguez is probably the best as far as like his book Rebel Without a Crew.
mhm.
I don't know if you've ever had a chance to check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Because
actually, I went searching for drug trials to raise money, but they don't have that down here so often.
Drug trials.
You know, they pay you some money to like test out new drugs on you.
Okay.
What?
I thought that was a movie. I was
like, I'm not following. What?
like, what genre is that? Oh,
I
okay.
know. I'm like, oh, is that a movie? I didn't know he did that.
So we got
so funny.
sound guy,
DP, first AD, and then I think
lighting,
lighting and feed people.
crafts guy.
Well,
Feed
yeah.
people. I'm
Okay,
not
the
kidding,
fifth one
because
is feed.
That's what people talk about.
Well, you know,
when they walk away, they talk about food.
Sure,
that's true.
Sure.
I think what we do is pretty important, like the directing and producing side of things. I mean, we cover we forget about us as a position all the time because we kind of do cover a lot of areas when we're working. I mean, you know, when we were doing Find Me, because we were on such a tight budget. I mean, we budgeted down to the slice of cheese. No lie, I have the budget to prove it. So it's like, you know, we're up. It's no joke. We're up in the mornings before everybody else. We're sweeping. We're getting coffee ready. We're doing these things, and we're sitting outside going, okay, trying to plan the day. We're taking out trash, and then we're jumping in. 'Cause I don't know if you guys know, we were also actors on in Find Me too.
Yes, I do know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, then we're off in the makeup chair and talking, out of the corner of our mouths while Barbie's trying to do our makeup, trying to do producing stuff with, one another, and then and then go over here and work with your actor and on the other side of your mouth and try and rehearse your lines. And so, we do forget that, we're a big part of, of what is important on a team is the directors and
the leadership.
producers.
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
Be in
I
the
mean,
front
that goes
line.
that kind of goes without saying. I guess you can't really make a film without a producer, and if you're making it yourself, it's just kind of goes without saying that you're that person. You're going to be producing it. Some people will, and on indie films, I was just reading an article. I'm always reading about other indie filmmakers giving advice. I love reading about it because every indie filmmaker that I've come across has something valuable to say. And this one guy said, well, we kind of killed ourselves to find a producer to produce our indie film. And they ended up making it. And he goes, kind of realized in the end that we're going to be the best at the job.
Yeah.
We're going to just have to direct it and produce it. And no one else is going to be able to do it better than us. So it's just a given that if it's your film and it's indie, you're going to end up producing it, in many cases directing as well.
So literally, you're the first one there, last one to leave. You're thinking of
always make sure everybody makes it home and in their cars. And
none of this diva shit, showing up late, being like, okay,
this is your movie.
There was one.
Nobody can say that.
There was one time. Do you remember after we did Complexion, we drove the truck and we had to pull over for something. I forgot what it was. It was 3:00 in the morning, and we're just tired after 16, 17, 18-hour day. And I looked at her and I said, "Why are we doing this?" I don't want to.
Definitely have one of those moments.
Yeah.
Until months later, we're on set again, doing it again.
You do. You're in the middle, and you're just like, why? Why am I doing this? And then then you sit and you watch your film, and you're like, oh yeah, that's why. I'm really happy about this.
Yep.
So. I mean, it is fun. It's nerve-wracking, but it's a lot of fun, and it's so rewarding. It really is so rewarding, and we face a lot of challenges, as women in the industry and in our age and being mothers, and so we have a lot of things working against us. So anytime we achieve something, it's just that much more rewarding. So yeah.
Nice.
is that one of the reasons why you prefer the indie track? Just because um I guess it's harder because of the reasons you listed, and maybe if there is good material going out there, it's so competitive that the shit that they do give to you is just empty.
No, I don't think it's a preference. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know if
You would
I don't know if
rather
I.
work, I guess.
I mean, it's not really a rather.
Mhm.
It's not a matter of that. I think it's a matter of whether someone's really willing to give you a chance or not. If that,
Yeah, I
I
mean, I think one of the biggest challenges for us has been just getting in the door. I think once you have something that really, really, really sticks, then it changes everything. You see it with award season all the time. You have an actor that's fighting for good roles, fighting for good roles. They land some crazy indie, and it's a breakout role for them. People say, "Oh, this person just happened to, you know." Do this film and now they're big. And it's like, no, they've been struggling for the last 15 years. You just haven't seen it.
Mm.
It was this indie that they were able to get good material on. It broke them out. And now they're getting a chance to really do roles that people get to see. And I think for us, I mean, of course, we're hoping to maintain as much creative control. So indie filmmaking does offer you that. What studio money does is it gives you more resources and availability for more actors. But we've been really fortunate. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if anything's ever going to compare to indie filmmaking.
Yeah.
I mean, just going full circle back to, I mean, that's always going to be it for me. That because of that creative control, because of the fact that I feel I can really maintain your creative integrity, that you pretty much get to do what you want. I mean, there's just something so incredibly liberating about that. So yes, it would be great as far as a commercial success, but
That's
I,
always nice.
yeah, of course it is.
it offers us.
And then we'll see you in like Passengers 2. After Oscar season, Passengers 2.
No, I mean,
but I mean, we know people that have, not know, but know of people that have, had commercial success and then decided to go back to doing things indie way because it's for all the reasons that we just mentioned.
The creative control and the liberties that you get with indie filmmaking are just it's such a joy, and you don't have to make those compromises that you do have to make, with the larger studio films. But again, commercial success wouldn't be a bad thing. It would just offer us more opportunities to do more indie films.
Not at all.
Right.
But yeah,
sure.
Those things that I did mention about, it is a challenge. It's more of a challenge, but that's why we started doing our own films. See, it's not what's holding us back. It's what actually drove us into this. It was the fact that there wasn't the material that we wanted to see for women. There wasn't the opportunities that we were able to get. We couldn't get through certain doors. We were too old in our 20s. It was like, what?
Wow.
We were women. So as a woman filmmaker, we work so hard. We work twice as hard, I feel, as like other people do, because we don't get those. As a woman in the industry, you really don't get a second chance. If you have a really big flap or you do blah blah blah, it's like, oh, it seemed a little different. And I'm not on the that wagon by any means. That you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is a real thing, but we make it work for us. I mean, it's never been anything that we use as a handicap at all.
No, it's never been.
It's always made us to do that, work harder and come up with something that much more interesting or something that much more different, or try something completely out of the box for those reasons. But
I think that kind of confinement can breed more creativity. You guys are, I guess, running into walls, so you're like making your own paths.
Yeah.
And it's coming from you too. What I'm wondering is the price of this is that you have to do all of that other stuff, like find the money, convince people to all of that, instead of just showing up to just work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's that much different on a larger scale. I really don't. I think it's the same. It's just the numbers are higher. I really do. I mean, I feel that. I mean, this is coming from just recently talking to a really big producer who had just produced something that was very large, and came to find out it took 6 years to get there.
Holy Christ.
Because it's knocked on so many doors and asked for, so many people to look at the project, and nobody would take it because it was too risky, or it wasn't too much this or too little that, or so I feel like it's a struggle whichever way you look at it, just on a different level. So
go ahead, sorry.
it's a different kind of struggle, I suppose.
Yeah.
I feel like with the higher the number, the more like seasoned workers you're going to be working with, and so they already know exactly.
It's a benefit.
It's a huge benefit. It really, really is. I think that after making several films now together, crew can really make it or break it. It's that army, the right army with you is the experience is everything. It makes it so much easier working with someone who's been around for many projects prior, rather than with someone who hasn't. I mean, we ended up fixing a lot in post.
Oh, man.
because of noobs.
Yeah, because you're always trying to save money. You're trying to cut corners any way you can, and in the end, you end up spending more than what you would have spent if you hired
We've learned
someone.
our lesson the hard way.
So that's why we're telling you hire sound.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
That was our latest and greatest error.
Sound.
Live and you learn.
Sound.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it sounds like having that package put together is important when you show up to ask for money. Like, you can't just show up with an awesome script and be like, well, here I am, can I please have money?
Not anymore.
Script doesn't I don't know.
Not unless you have like a built-in reputation. So like you're a writer that's had a lot of commercial successes. Have that kind of resume, but when we're still proving ourselves, so to speak.
You know what? I think that the great scripts do slip through the cracks, and they get into right hands, and they get made, and there's that first-time writer that's like, boom, he's got an Oscar nomination. It does happen. But it's like less than 1%, I'm going to say.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a very small number. So yeah.
For the indie filmmakers out there who I guess start off as writers or producers, they also got to figure out how to budget it and all of that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the business part of it was I think the part that we hated the most. We're good creative people, but the whole budgeting, and we didn't come from a schooling of producing, and so that was something that we learned, and we had to pick up right away, because you really, really, really need a good solid budget to work off of and stick with. So
yeah, I mean, package, definitely a budget, great script, possibly name talent does help.
Oh,
well, yeah, any of that going to the investor is
they want to know
huge.
if they're going to get their money back. They want to know what the plan is. Okay, so you have a script, so they're like, great, how much am I going to make off of this? So you have to be prepared to answer a lot of financial questions. So going in, learning all the financials and all that jazz was that was an eye opener, and it's very important when you go in and you approach any type of investors. You got to go in with a plan, a solid plan, and some solid numbers.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
Ooh, all right. That sounds cool. I mean, you got everything, right? Okay. Here's another question. Last good horror movie you've seen?
Get Out.
Black Coat's daughter.
Oh.
I still have to watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but A24 puts out some good ones.
Yes, they've been putting out a lot of good ones so far. Yeah.
I love, what is that, The Monster, or is it just Monster?
The Monster.
The Monster.
is a good one too.
Yeah, Black Coats. That was good. That was good.
Kind of
But
like
I
a
enjoy-
ghost story kind of thing, set
Black
in like a
Coat's
school or...
No, it's not a ghost story. It's actually a possession story.
Oh.
Possession.
Yeah.
We'll watch it. It's on Prime.
It's just an interesting approach to storytelling, I thought. It was refreshing.
Okay.
Oh, and I heard Get Out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
That was the last good one I saw.
I heard. I didn't see it yet, but I heard someone threw in like Stepford Wives.
That's what it reminds me
Kind
of,
of.
that and the Body
Yeah,
Snatchers.
a lot of that. Yeah, it's really hard to talk too in depth about it to somebody that wants to see it because you don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, you
want
haven't
them
seen it
to
yet?
go through the same process that you went through watching it. So every step they're surprised like you were, So, but I highly recommend it, and I'm excited because I heard he's going to be doing a whole series of these type of films with all that underlying social commentary type thing. So I'm excited to see what comes up next with him.
Me
Good
too.
director.
Nice. Okay, cool. So with the campaign, still a month left. That's a lot
I know.
of time.
Yeah.
So I saw you have stretch goals too.
We
when
did.
You break 50,000, right?
I'm not sure.
I think that was 50,000.
We're our campaign goal is 25,000.
25,000, right?
Yeah, 25,000, and then if we when we hit that, yes, we're planning on doing some stretch goals.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, I think that's about good. We're good right now with
Thank
the-
you,
the
thanks
talk.
guys for thanks
Thank
for talking
you
with
so
us.
much.
Our Indiegogo campaign, we're constantly doing updates. We have a Facebook page that we're updating all the time.
Yeah, plug it.
Yeah, I will. Go to we're on Twitter. It's under AMP for Twitter. So we have our Indiegogo campaign is indiegogo.com/@/severed silence. And like I said, we do updates all the time. You can see our actors. There's tons of graphics.
We always have new perks.
Yeah, our
every
perks.
week we release a new one. So
Our most popular perk right now is the tarot card perk, but it's a limited perk.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I saw that
It's a tarot
the actual
reading.
roles in your film, they got bought up already.
Do what?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, those went quick, right?
within the first week they were gone.
Yeah. People snatched those suckers up. We got an executive producer perk that sold, so there's only a handful of those. We have a lot of limited perks that people are pretty quickly snatching up. So yeah, I suggest if you want some of these popular perks to hop on now.
Yep, you gotta get on quick.
And ANP, that's almost normal.
Almost normal.
Productions.
That's
right?
Productions, which one of my kids named because they thought I was almost normal.
Ah, come on. All right.
The genesis
No
of the
joke.
name.
I know exactly where it happened too. It was
Yeah.
on getting off of 101 onto Barham.
Oh, Barham.
Like getting off. No, I get off of Barham. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I just every time I say almost normal, I was like, I remember the spot it had where it was named.
Right
But
on.
you guys, if you come out to LA, come give us a call. We'll go have some coffee or
Yes.
Definitely.
For sure.
You know all the good
lunch
coffee places.
or,
Actually,
you know.
after your campaign, ends, we kind of wanted to do a top 6 list with you.
Yay!
If you'd
Oh yeah,
like.
that's awesome.
we'll figure out the category and we'll let
There
you
you
know.
No, right?
Right on.
But seriously, catch Supergirl tomorrow night and try and catch Wonder this weekend. And you can see Isabella. She's our Aisha, our vengeful spirit in Severed Silence.
Oh.
You'll get to see a lot of different sides to her, and with our film. So
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Awesome.
but
I
yeah,
look forward to it.
in touch, you guys. Thank you so much for your
Yeah, thank
time.
you.
And
Yeah,
for
for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry
Appreciate it.
again for
great
running.
chatting with you.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
And
That's all.
thanks for sharing your films with us. I really liked.
Yes.
I
Yes,
think
you.
it because these kids are, and I liked May I Die. I thought that was the first one I watched. Then I really like that one. It's kind of haunting. I like films that are haunting, not necessarily like scary to death, but that stay with you.
Well, then you're gonna love Severed Silence.
Yeah, Severed Silence is really gonna tear you up. Oh.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait.
Looking forward to it. All
Yeah,
right.
us too.
Yeah. All right. Well, take care. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good
Thanks.
Bye.
night. Bye.
This is a Nekko Media podcast.